Anyways, the FlipHD. I'm sure you remember it. The era was 2009, I believe. Actually, I know for a fact because I have the Wikipedia page up. We're going to be looking at that a little later. I mostly just wanted to get things started slowly but surely. Is my mic on? Oh, my mic's on and everything. Perfect. That's usually the first thing that goes. I always forget to do that. But all right, we got the Mothman here. Good to see ya. Thanks for stopping in. Yes, I'm still alive. The channel's still going. If you keep up with the few shorts that go here and there, I post those and they go. Thanks for stopping in. I want to get right into it because, you know, at this point, I'm really just talking to those of you that are here live, but mostly to the people hitting replay and watching the replay. So we'll just get right into it. The FlipHD, this camera changed everything. Not this specific one. I think there was this is let's see what version this is. I don't know. Let's find out. We got to open it up. This is the Flip Ultra HD. So this was not the first generation. The first generation was just the Flip. In fact, let's go into the generations. It started out as a one-time use camera for 20. It was a model 200. It was called. Well, you know what? Let me just bring it up here. Let's see if we can do this. This is ready to go here. You ready for this? All right, here we go. So we're just going to go into this. We're on the Wikipedia page, looking good. And let's see if we can jump to the versions. Here we are, this one. So I'm in the way, so I'll just kind of move myself out of the way here so we can see. And it's pretty neat here looking through this because you kind of revisit a different era, the era before smartphones, right? And we're going back here. I don't remember the pure digital version going back to the point and shoot. I do remember CBS used to have a one-time use one. There was a one-time use camera like this, and there was all these forums online that you could hack into them and get them to be reused. But this little camera, when it wasn't that impactful until it went to this version right here, the FlipHD, at least for me, because for the first time ever, look at this form factor. HD video plugs right into the USB on your computer. The one thing I remember was how horrendous the audio was out of these cameras. And I never personally used the Mino. Sorry about that. I never used the Mino cameras, but the Ultra HD and the Ultra HD 2, these cameras, if you can see here, this was, I think, so this one is a 2-hour recording. And it's pretty cool. The Wikipedia has this full write-up here. And we go down through these different versions: pure digital video, the Ultra 2, the Ultra HD, Ultra HD 2, Ultra HD 3. I think I was winding out of this thing by then. And I'll tell you what, the FlipHD, if they would have just incorporated a mic input on the side so you could import a different audio source, that would have been the key moment. It's amazing how bad the audio is on these. But one thing that is kind of unique, actually, let's fire this thing up here. Let's go back to the main page here. We're going to fire this up because I thought this would be kind of cool. I don't know if I even have batteries that are strong enough. Let's see. Okay, that's a good view. Oh, we're in. Look at that. And first off, what do we got here? English. Actually, I guess I can get it up close for you. There you go. Oh, yeah, perfect. We're going to hit OK. I got to hit play. And I'm pretty sure the reason I wanted to go here, I wanted to see what date. Can we see it? Oh, gosh, it's kind of hard to see. There it is. I want to see what date. So we got January. What is it? It's December. December what? Let's see how high this goes. Here we go. 2020. 2020? It only goes to 2020. And we'll go to, what day is today? The 26th, I believe. Don't know. Let's take a look. Yeah, 26th. So we can only get to 2020. This thing was never meant to go past 2020. We'll hit OK. Time, we're fine. We got to move on. All right, I just wanted to see what the date was. Save settings, sure. And there we go. Look at that. So this one only records 1 hour and 14 seconds. And that's not giving a good representation of, oh, we're already low on batteries. This is a brand new set of batteries from the Dollar Tree. This thing would eat up batteries like crazy. I'm pretty sure the original ones came with rechargeable, like a little rechargeable pure digital battery set, and they would recharge while you had the camera plugged in with this little flip out USB. Show that one more time. I think that's kind of cool. Oh, is the battery already dead? Oh yeah, look, my batteries are already dead. That's all you're getting. Oh well, you get the idea, right? Mothman, he's got one of the cameras still. Yeah, and you know what? I get on Facebook Marketplace all the time just to keep an eye out, just because I'm like, I'm always interested. No reason. I have a couple of these, and I instantly regret trying to use it because of there's no focus. But yeah, Chad, I don't know why they limit the date. It's one of those things, I guess. Yeah, what was happening in 2020? I guess they just knew. They saw the end before we did, right? The iPhone was coming down the pipeline, and it was about to change everything. The thing I do like about these, and I keep like thinking about it, got to start somewhere, right? Start as an idea. I keep thinking about doing a little film festival. Not that I want to really try to represent the company. I don't even think the company's still in business, but I love the limitations of this because there's no focus. The audio's horrendous, but I actually don't really like the HD. I almost want to go back to the ultra standard def, but then it gets into the whole thing of, yeah, I don't know. The limitations of some of these, like this one is the hard shell plastic. They made the classic ones with the grip, that grip rubber, and by now, after, what is it now? It's 2023. It's been, I don't know, 12, 15 years. I can do the math. It's all sticky. The ones with the grip are nasty. So if you ever see any of these for resale, if you can't get your hands on one, just look for the hard shell case and you'll know because it'll slide off. And it also tells you the version right here. You can see, I'll just get it real close for you so you can see it. Will this focus? Macro? Perfect. That's super great. There you go. Yeah, there you go. You can see the version. But that's just my own experience. The grip was nice when they were good, but now they're just super nasty. And something I wanted to bring up, I never got to set this up, and this is just a live stream chatting about it. I thought it'd be fun just to see if there was anyone that would stop by that might have something to say. I know I was hoping Sweet Lou Photography might stop in because his whole video career, I think, kind of started with the flip cameras, the Mino specifically. But this right here is the Flip Video. Wait, what's this thing called? I don't know what it's called. Oh, actually, I got the Wikipedia right here. What am I talking about? This is the Flip Share, I believe. Oh my goodness, I'm amateur hour. I never had one of these, so that's why Flip Share is the software that came programmed inside of the cameras. You plug this camera into a computer and it opens up this software that gives you even a built-in editor. It was pretty ahead of its time. Okay, this is the Flip Share TV. And what this is, here's the back setup. It's got HDMI. Actually, is it? Yeah, HDMI and RCA jacks. This is how ahead of the time it was. This was the idea that you would have your camera set up, and through this box, you could put it onto your television and watch through all your videos, sort of like a digital VCR. And I wanted to own one of these just because they're super cheap and nobody wants them anymore. But just because of the history of them, what's in here? Even batteries still in here. I don't think this thing's ever been used. But that's something, eventually I'll do a legit video so it'll be edited and actually have some coherency. And I got something else right here. And you guys are seeing it first, the live stream watchers. I don't know how I tracked this thing down. This was brought to you by Best Buy, sponsored by, and I think it was San Francisco Giants. Do you flip? Cisco brand. Let's bring that up. There it is. Flip Video. And it was Flip Video night. How cool is that? I'll have to look up to see when this was. It's unfortunate because I'll tell you what, the internet, it's easier to find stuff out from the early 1900s, 1910, 20, 30, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. But you try to find stuff from the early 2000s, and everything was just so digital. The websites are gone. You go into archive.org, you try to track down these. Most of the websites are completely obsolete, gone. But you can kind of get into the Flip Video website and see some stuff, and it's kind of cool because at one point YouTube was sponsoring these things. You could get custom shells that you could get to cover these, and there's a bunch of different versions of these where they eventually started having touchscreen on the back. But I think this is one of the coolest. These are those things that you just kind of, they show up on eBay and it's like, boom, I snag them up, because to me, I think this is just timeless. At one point, some baseball field, San Francisco Giants. Is that right? Is that baseball? Oh my gosh. Sports, right? Some sports team did a flip night. Do you flip? Sponsored by Best Buy. Anyways, I was going to put it on, but I forgot I even had it until I started the stream here. And so I wanted to get that up there. All right. Anyways, so I wanted to just mention this, and I really was hoping, I know eventually as this stream gets replayed, Lou will stop by and leave a comment, and hopefully we'll get to talk about this, because I know this still, every time I have a couple of these in the drawer and I see it, and like I said, it is kind of miserable to go out and try to use it, just because you get so used to your phone where you have the autofocus and you can adjust and the sounds great. You can instantly watch it back and share it with your friends and stuff, where this takes you back to, all right, you got to load it in. But the thing that's so amazing about this camera, how ahead of its time it was, where it would have the little flip out, it would charge your batteries out for the rechargeable. This one had an HDMI output right here. Look at that. And it would also have software built into it. So as soon as you plug this thing into your computer, you could import the videos and start editing with it. I just think that is one of the, like, it's one of those things that's hard to imagine, especially now in this era where all these stinking apps now are all switched, where everything costs a monthly subscription. This thing was, you buy this thing and you got everything you need. Now there was a limitation with the editor, and I think for sure for the video, I'm gonna set this up and go through that. I'm sure there's videos out there already, but I just want to go through it and kind of relive it myself, because it was pretty neat. The only thing I hated, I remembered it was the editor would do dissolves instead of straight cuts. And I don't know why it did that. It was so frustrating, because it's like, just go and let me do a straight cut. Because you could technically plug this thing in. We'll flip it again. Flick it. Flip it. Not flick it. We're not dealing with lighters here. Plug this thing in. You get your little extension. And the menu would pop up, you load in your stuff, and you could edit it, upload it to YouTube. And what's kind of fun, if you go to the older channel videos on this channel, and I'll put some in the links. Oh, Sweet Lou is here. What the heck? Oh my gosh. Okay, sorry, I'm like catching up with the chat. We're going to go back here and let him log in here. But if you go back to the older channel videos, that was the huge thing. My computer couldn't handle the actual HD video, so when I would do the editing, it was very like choppy, but I could upload some stuff, and I remember doing some tricks and tips. So let me catch up here. All right, here we go. We're gonna jump in here. I got my little pop-ups here. Okay, Sweet Lou's here. The AA battery ones are the best ones too. Yeah, the rechargeable ones are all toast now. Yeah, the rechargeable ones, you can mess with them. I've seen some like tutorials online, some deep dive forums that talk about it. It's unfortunately just, I don't think it's worth it, the effort. I mean, obviously for an archivalist, I guess it's worth keeping a couple still alive, but for the quality that you're getting, I don't know if it's totally worth it. That's where these are the ones that I look for. Now, the other thing to look for, if you can see here, this has a protective lens, and that was always the other thing. You would have to constantly wipe that because you just get a fingerprint on it. And I did do a tutorial on it where if you actually wipe and smudge that, you can get fake lens flare. So that, and I would even do it with a magnifying glass. You put magnifying glass, then that's how you could get macro also. But let's see here. And I know, I don't know, Lou, if you're still here, but okay, he's here. But I know this was a little, I guess this was a couple minutes ago. He's here. Okay. I'm learning how to click the buttons on the computer. And this side towards the screen. Oh, that's cool. So it looks like, so the software does work on older Macs, which is great. And I have an old Windows XP computer that I'm going to, I'm going to have to make sure I back that thing up, switch the drives over to SSD drives so I can, because there's some other old software and older programs and stuff I want to watch or share with you guys. But this camera, of course, I'm holding it. I got to front it as much as possible because I got it. But I don't know. And Lou, I'll just show this again. I know those of you watching the replay have already seen it. I just think this is the coolest thing. I was going to mail this to you, Lou, but I wanted to make a video with it first. And it's one of those things. I'm really curious now. I'm like super curious of like tracking down Flip Video merch, just because at one point they were just really pushing this stuff. This was like YouTube was kind of getting into the HD thing, and so this was the best way to get into it. I'm gonna read through here. We're gonna switch over again to my little website, and I have a couple of these set up. I wasn't able to like navigate the website. Oh, cool. Here we go. So here's my face. I'll just move over here. And so you can see we're on the Wikipedia page. And this will just get a quick little overview of, what's going on. And I didn't fact check this, but I'm pretty sure they're probably pretty accurate here. Yeah, and so I'll just read through it, and you can hear how bad I can read. The Flip Video camera is is an American series pocket video cameras for digital video created by Pure Digital Technologies, a company bought by Cisco Systems in March 2009. Variants include the Ultra HD, MinoHD, and Slide HD. That was kind of cool, the Slide. I've seen it. I've never used it. Flip video cameras. Let's see. We're known for their simple interface, a few buttons, minimal menus, built-in USB plug, from which they derived the name, the Flip name. Flip. And we're marketed and making videos. Simple to shoot, simple to share. Production of the line of Flip video cameras ran from 2006 until 2011, when Cisco Systems discontinued them to exit aspects of it consumer business. Flip cameras contributed to an increase of popularity of similar small tapeless camcorders, although the inclusion of HD cameras in many smartphones has since made them more of a niche product. Niche. So that's kind of cool. And let's see, I think I have screenshots of other pages here, so we'll go to the next page, a little bit further down to some of the features. And let's see here. Yeah, ActionCom. What a time. And you have to like really, for those of you that are old enough to know about this, like it was a time. And it's so weird to think like you had your pocket phones, your flip phones, low quality. You had HD cameras, and you had real expensive HD stuff. And then these things came out. And I remember on the YouTube channel here, I used the Kodak ZI-8. First I had the ZI-6, and the ZI-8 to me was the best HD camera because it had a macro setting, it had a mic input, and I instantly abandoned this just because the audio was horrendous. One video specifically, I was thinking, I'll link him in the description of this video for the replay. The videos I used with this camera. There was just a few. It came and went, but we used them at my job. We tried to shoot some interviews, and we tried to send them out to some of the other people that worked there that weren't really video people, and it was sort of exactly this thing that they described here, where it's just simple interface, a button, you turn it on, make sure the battery's charged, and you just go. Super cool. Let's see here. So, some of the features. Flip cameras' video quality was unusually good for their prices and sizes. They can record videos at different resolutions. Flip HD was, okay, so it wasn't full HD 1920 by 1080, it was 1280 by 720. And that's where the Kodak ZI-8 came in. And just, and that camera plugged into the wall too. So you had a video, I should have kept mine. I ended up selling, I had like 3 of them, and I got rid of all of them. And I guess, what am I going to do with it, right? At this point, I got old iPhones. What am I going to do with those? Let's see here. So, Sans, thanks for stopping in. It's just a little side break. Hey, this is just for my live chat. You're here, hanging out. Thanks for chopping in, leaving a chat. All right, let's see here. This side towards the screen, I started to collect the pocket cams, Kodak Nano. Oh yeah, Panasonic, Toshiba, so many more. Yeah, well, now's the time, I guess, not to get into, because now everyone's, because of like TikTok and stuff, people are sharing them out because it's all retro now because it's been so long. And they're actually real expensive. And it is weird too. You might be in the same thing where I had a bunch of these cameras, and over the years I just got rid of them. I sold them. And now I'm like, why did I just leave them in a drawer? They're kind of fun to revisit. Most of them took external SD cards, so you could just use them, put some new batteries in, and keep going. But I always look for the older cameras, like the early 2000s and stuff. I look for the cameras that can still be plugged into the wall, just in case the rechargeable batteries aren't that useful or available. you can at least plug them in and use the camera if you wanted to do some studio stuff. But I know this is a little bit delayed question. When did YouTube go online? 2005, I believe. There's probably an exact date, October 2005. Because I know a few months after it started, my friend messaged me and was like, you got to try out this website. And I signed up. So I got in. I'm one of the original guys. You know, that's like my little claim to fame on my YouTube channel. I'm like, I didn't really even use it though. The first couple of videos we uploaded were just all copyrighted music ones, and YouTube used to mute those videos. So I deleted them all, and then a couple years into it, I guess it would have been 2010. It almost took like 5 years before I actually started using it to publish videos. Back to the flip video camera. So let's see some of the video. So that's good to actually get into this Wikipedia, because I was thinking when I think of HD, I think of 1080, 1920 by 1080, and the Flip HD were 1280 by 720, which was still good enough for that era. And we're talking, was it 2006? Yeah, 2006 into 2011. So it would probably be 2009 is when the Flip HDs were starting to show up. All right, the Flip Mino, the Slide HD. Where are we at? Where are you guys? Okay, we're reading the features. You can see some of the stuff on screen. All the models lack external. All the models lack memory card extension slots. So yeah, all these cameras also had internal memory. Ahead of its time. They were ahead of their time. Because you wanted to get more memory, you had to buy a larger camera storage, right? Kind of sounds familiar, huh? iPhone. All right. So the flip cameras record monorail sound. Let's see what that means. Monorail sound is intended to be heard and emanate one position. Okay, mono sound. Mono. Simple D-pad. Let's see, there's a D-pad control, simple interface. Third and final generation, the Flip Ultra HD cameras retailed for $149.99. $149.99. Kind of expensive. Let's see, 2009. Yeah, that was for, you can get into HD. You could get a camera that records HD, has a built-in editor for 150 bucks. It's a deal. I'm in. Now you can find these cameras for about $12. $20 if you're getting sassy. And I usually look for Facebook Marketplace, because a lot of the people that are selling these on Marketplace still have all the original things. Like they're like the classic owners of these things, and they're finally getting rid of them. Come in the little bag and stuff. I think let me look here real quick, since I have instant access to all my stuff. Oh yeah. Look at this. So this is a low pro. This is specifically for this camera. I think it's made just for the Flip. And this is just the Ultra. This isn't the HD model. And it has a really cool, I don't know if you can see this. Actually, let me go back. Sorry, I'm going to bring this up full screen for you. Look at that finish. That is just such a clean. Oh, and that's not a mic jack. Wouldn't that be amazing if that was a mic jack? That's the video output. So this one would have come with a little, what is it, 2.5 millimeter jack that would plug in, and then it goes to RCA cables. So this is before the HD. And if we slide this down, let me open this up here. Yeah, this is the Flip Ultra 2nd generation. So they list that right there. You can see it right under the serial code. Right there. And it's built relatively the same. It's got the protective lens there. This slides up, locks on the bottom. Look at that metal tripod jack. But I was super excited to get this one, because the guy that had this, he was the one that purchased this. He had it like in this protective bag since the day he owned it. He probably used it maybe 5 times. Look how clean this is. Like aluminum. Is it aluminum or is it painted plastic? I don't know. Let's just say it's aluminum. I don't think it is actually though. But it has a cool finish on it. Definitely super neat. But I just think this is cool. So this wouldn't necessarily be branded Flip, but this was made for these types. I mean, what else can fit in here, right? Look at that. So check this out. Okay, here we go. This is perfect. So $149.99 in 2007 is equal to about $227 in 2023. All right, that's awesome. Thanks for that. Yeah, so we can see that inflation on that. So yeah, $227. They're still selling some cameras for around that price. That is the same technology from back then. So I don't know. It's hard to say nowadays. Hey, not alone. He's here. What's going on? Good to see him. It's been a little while. Thanks for stopping in. But yeah, so now I've been going through, and this is little low pro bag would be a flip video pouch. I'm pretty sure they're not making this, because what else would fit in this? Maybe like an action camera? I don't know. But where were we? So we'll get back to it. So, oh, this drawer's not closing. Technical difficulties. There's always got to be something. Let's go back to the web page real quick. Where were we? So I'm going to move my little face over here, and we'll keep looking. Okay, so all the flip cameras included the required video player, which was a 3 IVX codec software flip share on the camera's internal storage. For all models after 2010, an HDMI cable can stream videos to a TV screen, and that's the one that I have right here. And I'm going to go full screen again. This one, it's nice, but it just doesn't have, like, there's something about that. Let me jump out of here so you can get an idea. This is nice, but it's that just shiny. Yeah, so this is plastic. I love that metal coating, or the metal look, a fake metal look compared to this blue. But you take what you can get. Anyways, all right, back to the main show. Here we go. So the flip videos accompanying software is called FlipShare, which facilitates downloads of videos, basic editing, and uploading to various websites. After the release of version 5.6, FlipShare no longer includes a function to convert video to WMV. Forgot about that. And you know what? It is unfortunate, because this is Wikipedia, and this is where things get lost in this kind of stuff. It doesn't talk about the fact that the editor only lets you do dissolves in between cuts, which really just killed the momentum of like wanting to shoot short little movies, because I'd want to edit stuff. And so what I would do is convert it to WMV, take it into Windows Movie Maker. It was crazy trying to get straight cuts, and because you wanted that like solid jump cut or whatever. But totally forgot about the WMV format, where it would let it have that functionality to convert it. Let's see, let's see if I have the website page for the history. Here we go. Okay, we got a little bit of the history. Cool. So we'll just jump into the history a little bit. I think this will be fun. And obviously I know you guys can get on Wikipedia, but I just thought it'd be fun to hang out, and it's kind of neat to hear. I'm glad some people stopped by for the live stream, even though I'm kind of mostly doing this for the playback, because who's hanging out? What day is it? Is it Monday? What is it? I don't even know. I'm going to look real quick. What day is today? It's Tuesday. Okay. 9 o'clock. So going to the history, the first version was originally released as the pure digital point-and-shoot video camera May 1st, 2006, as a reusable follow-on to the popular CVS one-time use camera. I talked about this earlier. And I had one of those cameras. It's packed away somewhere in the box, and I had the whole Windows hack software, and you'd run this like DOS program, and you could download it and reuse it. It was so much work, but it was like the coolest hack in my opinion. And that's something else. I really, it's one of those things. I wish there's so much more video content out there where people document so much of their stuff. But back then it was just, I didn't even think to record going through this. I was just, that's how you spent your time. But, and I know there's a little bit of delay, so it's good to see. I'm trying to keep up with the chat here, and and I think ActionCom, I think I mentioned this, we'll just take a little break here, but he asked about the tripod mount. I did talk about it. Like, they're all metal. As far as I know, all the models, at least these style cameras, when I don't know about the Mino, they were legit metal tripod mounts. Well, it turned on. We're back. Maybe the battery's just loose. This is what I wanted to show you guys. Let me go full screen so you can really enjoy this. Here we go. Sorry about that. Here we go. Are you ready for this? It's oh, I'm new to the computer. Okay, here we go. So I want to turn this thing off. How do I turn this off? Okay, so here, this is what you'd see on the turn off. Flip video. Oh, can't get it back on. Oh, we're back. There it is. Cool. Oh, I just realized, unfortunately, I don't think I can plug this thing in. Oh, low battery. It won't even record. So Dollar Tree batteries don't work in this. You probably want rechargeable batteries. All right, anyways, where were we? Nice little random distractions. So we're in the history. The camcorder was renamed the Flip Video a year later on September 12th, 2007. September 12th is my birthday. So September 12th, 2007. So a year later is when they went full name change, Flip Video. The Flip Ultra was released. The Flip Ultra was a best-selling camcorder on Amazon.com after its debut, capturing about 13% of the camcorder market. Flip products received an unusual large advertising campaign. Yeah, including product placement, celebrity endorsements, and sponsoring of events such as concert tours during their introduction from 2009 and through the Cisco takeover. The Flip range was sold in Europe by Widget UK. So there's a ton of stuff out there, and that's what's really tricky, is to track down these videos. I'm sure there's like commercials and stuff like that, and it's like that's been the hardest thing. I've been slowly trying to like track down some digital recordings or like screen recordings of the old websites, and some of the stuff is functional still. I was able to get some of that, but it's hard to like really track down the campaigns and stuff. And I'm actually curious of like cardboard stand-ups and stuff and things like that. And let's see here, ActionCom. Yeah, seeing the Flip operating was strangely nostalgic. And yeah, so when you see that Flip on, it's like even hearing that sound, it has its own sound, like you think of Mac computers, even iPhones, and this. It's really interesting too, because I mean, within just a few years, it was pretty much gone and kind of obsolete once the touch screen and the autofocus and those functionality came in. I think the iPhone specifically wiped it out instantly, pretty much. But I really think, man, if they would have really locked in on the audio of these, that would have been so amazing. That was the only thing that never really happened during the upgrades. I kind of tracked it, because I have this older one that's the Flip Ultra, and then there's the Ultra HD, and they both have pretty bad audio. The Ultra actually has a little bit better audio, I think. But no, well, we can't get into too distracted. I have other digital cameras and digicams. Where were we? So now we're getting into the models here. So we have a couple of them on screen right here. We already talked about a lot of these. I personally got into it at the Flip Ultra HD. So I'm surprised that these models don't have dates, unfortunately. That's kind of a bummer, I think. This is where someone needs to go in here and put dates to when these were released. But I guess I would say 2009 is when the Flip Ultra HD with the 2-hour battery life, or the 2-hour record time, will come in. And I guess that would be 720. And I didn't see anywhere in the write-up if they ever went to full HD 1920 by 1080. But going down a little further, and you guys don't see it on the screen, but the FlipShare TV, which was this thing that I had, this little box here, is an accessory 3rd generation Flip Ultra HD camera, and it allows users to connect the TV base to their TV, plug in USB transmitter key to their computer, and view their FlipShare library. Oh, so this actually connected to your computer. I don't even know how this works. So I'll have to see how that goes then, if that's the case, because that means you might need an older computer. That'll be really interesting. All right, let's go full screen back. We got ActionCom. What do we have here? I wonder if the Flip influenced GoPro. I did see people use Flip as body cams, but I could not have worked well because the lenses are not super wide. Yeah, that was always the big thing. And I know at the time, it seemed like I didn't want to do the permanent thing myself, but I've seen people where they would glue on a lens adapter, like a threaded lens ring, and then you could put an ultra wide lens on. But at that point, it's so heavy. But yeah, I'm sure this definitely influenced the action cams. It is interesting to think now that I'm wondering, I would have to like do, you guys might be able to do this if you're by a computer. Because if this was 2009, I'm pretty sure GoPro was already rolling out their action cams, right? So I never even thought, you'd think like if they were really on top of things, they would have tried to make these smaller so they could kind of compete, but whatever. Obviously, Cisco company. Do we even know anything about them? They came and went. All right, let's see what else is happening. Is this all the stuff I had? I have some other flip stuff, some other cameras. They're pretty similar to this, but I'm curious. I'll just hold this. We'll just front it. Actually, I like the other one better. Let me get this one. This one I think is just such a cooler. Actually, so check this out. We'll put them side by side here. You can see. Yeah, it's hard to explain. It totally is. It's plastic. But so this part looks the same. All right. You see the lenses, but it's the side here, that fake metal on this one is just, it just feels nicer too. It has like a nice, it's almost like a matte finish. And this is the older model. So yeah, let me know. You can leave a comment on the replay. Probably would be the best way to do it. But if you want to see anything in the actual video, the final video of these, because I want to compare some of these just because of the ones I have. This one's standard definition and this one's HD. And I think this one has better audio if I remember right. I did some tests. And of course, when I say better audio, I'm comparing to each other compared to like even an iPhone, even an older iPhone. These just sound really bad. Yeah, this is the one I want to show because I think this one's cooler. Look at that, clean. I had a friend, Ryan Dalton. He's out in New Jersey, I believe, and he made so many little movies with his camera, and it was all just pretty much just him as all the characters. And he at one point his lens broke, and he just picked all the glass out of it and kept using it. He got his money's worth out of this thing. There's a couple old time YouTubers that really got their money's worth out of these little things. And yeah, $150. It was, it was relatively expensive. At the time, I think we still weren't quite sure because you had to have a pretty powerful computer to really do much with editing HD. But where was I going with this? I think that was about all. I know it's still up in the air. How long have I been going for? We've been chatting for a little bit. I think I might go here now. But I know I'm going to put that little bug out there again. I kind of still want to do something with some sort of like little mini film festival. The problem is I just don't really want to be like Flip and try to re-promote this old brand. But these cameras, there are a lot of these cameras still out there. They still function perfectly fine. They have some limitations, which is something I'm a fan of. And there's ways to modify and hack them so people could do that. And so you could still get some interesting little short films and stuff. It's just tough though, because it's just so frustrating to use. It's almost like, it's not fun because like in this case, this one's the standard def, but if you have an HD version, it's like a lower quality HD. So it's like that weird era. It's almost, for me personally, I would rather see the standard def 480. So that way it's just square video, a little bit extra pixely. But I'd be curious to hear what you guys think as far as like film festivals and stuff. I don't know. I always think about it. It seems like such a good idea. And then the reality is free time filmmakers, right? Free time. Who has time for this? I think that's all for now. I appreciate everyone that stopped in. Hopefully this was fun to just kind of hang out and talk about some of this stuff, or at least hear me talk about some of this stuff. I know most of it, I'm not committing this stuff to memory, but jumping on the Wikipedia page does update my brain a little bit, where I'm reminded of some things I'd like to research more because I see how general the overview is. And for people who actually use these cameras, they have a whole different experience and memory of it, especially if you got a chance to use some of the, like the Mino or the slide. I personally thought as soon as we got, I mean, even back then, I remember thinking if it doesn't have physical buttons you can actually push, I'm kind of over it. Just because I just feel like that's always, those things, they never got it figured out back then. But anyways, that's all for now. thanks for checking out or hanging out, stopping in, checking out this live stream if you watch the live stream. And hopefully a full video will come soon. And like I said, if you're watching this replay, leave a comment of some things you'd like to see for that main video, because that's the fun of it. These cameras are sort of, at this point, kind of just getting lost into time. And I mean, there's a few people that are out there, like, I think it was ActionCom that was talking about collecting some of these cameras. There's a few collectors out there. People have some crazy prices, but you can give, if you're on eBay, you send an offer, they'll take a pretty low offer, just because what are these cameras doing really? Now, like I said, the one benefit, if I ever did have to do a comparison, I had this imaginary one right here. This would be the Kodak ZI-8. I would totally say get the Kodak ZI-8, because that thing, especially if it comes with all the original hardware, because you can plug that thing in to a wall outlet, put a giant SD card in there, and just use it as an HD camera plugged in. Like, that's kind of cool for an old Digicam style camera, and it has the macro lens. So if you wanted to film some wildlife macro stuff, maybe, I don't know, you could do that, or just use a webcam. I don't know, you do you. But anyways, thanks again for stopping in, and that's all for now. I'll end it saying, knob top, go make something. All right, I'm gonna go out with the countdown just to really confuse people. All right, sorry if I missed your chat. Those of you that stopped in, I appreciate it. I'm gonna go back and reread the chat. You know how I do. So I appreciate that, and sorry if I missed your comment or whatever. You can leave it in the replay if you're really wanting to get to me. All right, thanks again. Countdown to the end. See you later. Knob top.